Okay, I found it. There's another
My littlest grandkids are the ones that are,
16 of
I
those.
think it's hilarious.
I do too. I think it's a great idea.
I have you right.
It's busy already.
Is it done?
Yeah. You stand up and say the pledge of allegiance for our meeting started. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
take a motion from one of you fellers for the agenda today.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
That's right.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bullseye.
Okay, how about minutes?
I read them over, saw nothing that,
I found my own typo and I fixed it already, so.
there we go. I was fine with it.
I'll second the minutes.
Okay, call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bullseye.
Okay. EMS trust fund claims.
It's a short list, I did look through it.
Okay. I get a motion to approve the EMS claims.
I would make a motion to approve the EMS claims.
Do we have to read them?
Yep.
You want to read them, or?
Well,
Oh, you don't?
yep. EMS claims as follows. North Benton Ambulance, $1,600. Another one for North Benton Ambulance for $4,125. Keystone First Responders, $13,283.97. Walford First Responders, $764.03. Belle Plaine Area Ambulance, $3335.74. North Benton Ambulance, these last ones are all North Benton Ambulance, $1,097.34. $17.85 even. $299.159 and $21.46.69 for a total of $31,129.36.
I'll second.
For a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bullseye.
Okay, we got a couple of minutes, we can do this quick, the resolution for the lost funds from the fire department of, Manly. I let Bruce look at that already.
You have the full, yep.
Yep.
So he was here in September and you guys gave him prior approval, so.
Right. Everything's spelled out in there. Do we have to initial that, Tracy?
Yes, we do.
And Larry delivered those yesterday.
And according to what Bruce kind of went through, you said it's for about 10.
Yeah, they had 10 boots that I could see, and then a bunch of gloves and reflective equipment, stickers and everything.
So it would be for 10 uniforms for the fire department, brand new ones.
All updated.
Wasn't it a special kind of material, he said? something?
Lightweight, but
Yeah, I'm sure all that stuff has a shelf life, so.
Okay. So can I get a motion to approve the 10% gift from the lost fund?
I would make the motion to approve the 10% gift from the lost funds for Van Horn Fire. The total is $35,828.27.
But we're gifting them
And we would be gifting them 10% of that.
the $3,582.83.
Second.
All right, call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Vote aye.
Done. Courtney?
Hello. I went ahead and got my budget all done since I will hopefully be going on maternity leave here in the next couple of weeks. Not a whole lot to my budget. There's that. Have veterans fairs and general assistance there.
Thank you very much.
Haley, do you need a copy or?
Nope.
Okay.
I actually printed them once I imported it like I sent you to, so.
Okay, awesome.
They have both copies.
So if you take a look, Veterans Affairs and General Assistance, the actual budget itself, the only increase I added on there was a 3% increase for cost of living, which of course affects the FICA, IPERS, Medicare, and health insurance as well. All other expenses, as far as the budget goes, remains the same.
Do you want to explain to them too how your salary is split between GA and VA?
Yes, so Veterans Affairs is 75% of my salary, and then General Assistance is 25%.
And that kind of still remains the same. Do you feel that's pretty accurate?
Yeah.
Your general assistant so far this year will way down, that's good.
Yeah, we had a little bit of an increase last month, but not anything super significant.
Any questions for her, guys?
I think as far as the major expenses for general assistance, the cremation is usually the biggest one. And I haven't seen as many yet, but coming into the colder months, it does seem to pick up a little bit. So we'll see how the rest of this year goes. But basically, when it comes to funding, once it's out, it's out. And that's how all counties are.
Do you know, does that EFSP still, is there still a program for that?
There is a program for that. I have not looked into it. It hasn't been done, I think, 3 years. Yeah, it's been a few years.
I just didn't know if that's something, if we
Yeah.
should try to utilize again or not.
From my understanding, it's basically, like applying for a grant, so.
I think it was like 4,500, wasn't it, in the past?
I think 5,000.
Okay.
5,000, yep. And those funds are not as specific to the guidelines when it comes to being able to issue, rent assistance and
Right.
things like
I
that.
think a lot of times we utilize it for the food pantry and stuff.
Yep. So yeah, that is one we can look at getting into again. I did get some information.
Okay. That's something we can still add if you find out more and we want to do
Yep.
that. just let me know.
And that would be general assistance on the revenue side of it
Yeah,
underneath
well, it's like
the.
separate, it's the 0070 fund.
Yep.
So it's kind of a pass-through if we do it.
Yeah, it looks like,
It's been a few years.
yeah, 24, 25. It was in there, but I don't think it was actually, applied for.
I think I might have put it in there just in case we did.
I think you might be right on that one. Any other questions?
Thank you.
No? Bruce? All right.
Thanks,
If you
Bernie.
guys think of anything, you can always send me an email.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good luck if we don't see ya.
Thanks.
Well, that's pretty well thing. How about a quick report?
I had no meetings last week.
I had no meeting last week.
I'm stacked up the first half of December. I'm gonna try to catch the meeting, the Supervisors District meeting in Dubuque tomorrow.
Is that tomorrow?
Yeah.
I think the, you guys ever went to that?
I've got Heartland on Thursday. We were
Yeah.
supposed to have Friday as well, but they couldn't get the facility or the caterer.
Alicia and I are going to that too.
Are you
It's the
going up?
holiday one. I think Myron usually goes too.
Yeah. That's at a different building than what the meeting is.
Yeah.
So we'll have to run from one to the other, or I will.
Yeah, you'll probably do the business meetings.
Right.
I would only be your backup.
Yeah, that starts at 10. But I had nothing last week.
We got EDCOG this week, since the meeting usually falls on the last Thursday of the month, which would have been Thanksgiving, but we're having it this Thursday. Okay. Matt, go ahead and start. We have it scheduled a little bit.
Matt and Michelle Friedman are seeking approval to change the use of approximately 2 acres of land to allow for a single-family dwelling in Pole Barn. The property is located 1 mile north of Belle Plaine in the 1100 block of 76th Street, and that's within Section 17 of Iowa Township. The proposal concerns a 7.04 acre parcel that is owned by the applicants. The majority of this request has a corn stability rating of 50, which is not considered high-quality farmland. There's pasture land to the north with timberland to the east, and there are single-family dwellings to the south and west in addition to pasture land to the south. Access to the property will be via a recently installed driveway, which was reviewed and approved by Dan McKenna from the Secondary Roads Department. The property is accessed from 76th Street, which is a gravel county road with an annual average daily traffic count of 35 vehicles. The request will require the installation of a septic system, which will be permitted by the department. The applicants can either join Polish Water Association, which services this area, or they may install a private water well, which would be permitted by the department. 6 notification letters were sent to adjacent property owners, and legal notices were published in Benton County's official newspapers. The Benton County Land Use Office did receive comments from one adjoining property owner, which I'll share here following my report. This request is located on a parcel that's not associated with a farm and is adjacent to an area with a moderate density of single-family dwellings. Therefore, this request is not likely to interfere seriously with farm operations in the area. The surrounding area generally consists of agricultural uses with some scattered rural residences, as well as the city of Belle Plaine to the south. This request should not materially alter the stability of the overall land use pattern in the area. According to the Land Preservation and Use Plan, it is policy to provide limited and low-density single-family dwellings within the general rural use area upon a fair and equitable evaluation. And for the reasons reported, this request is found to be consistent with this policy and all other applicable policies of the plan. I'm going to say we did receive comment from Dan and Joe Blanchard, and they stated, "We've lived at our home in 76th Street 45 years and have enjoyed having cows as our only neighbors to the east of our place. But now we're looking forward to having Matt and Michelle and their 3 wonderful children as our new neighbors." And that was signed Dan and Joe Blanchard. there anything you would like to add?
Nope.
The driveway in ready?
Yes.
Okay. Well, gentlemen,
Everything's in order, Matt?
Yep.
I don't have any concerns.
I see no concerns.
okay, gotta get a motion.
I'm gonna make a motion to approve the land use change for Matt and Michelle Friedman, parcel ID 660222420.
I will second the motion.
Okay, all vote.
Tippit, aye.
Susan, aye.
Both ayes.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
That was very young fellow, put in jail. Oh, many years ago.
It's still okay. Schedule.
Look at me, I'm going to. I did send you guys the email from Sarah.
Yes. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Thanks.
Sarah, if you guys want to come up front, we can move some chairs up front. If you guys want to present up here.
Thank you.
See you last time, grabbed my nose and scratched it, and, wow.
I'm starting to eat food. It's so fun to watch her.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
didn't, her face when she got the bananas was like,
No way.
well, she ate it, but it was just watching her face.
And Becca likes mashed potatoes, but the dressing not so much. Scour down the mash.
Okay, ladies.
All right. Thank you for letting us be here today. I am Sarah Barrett. I am the district leader for District 6 for the Iowa Primary Care Association. Nicole Waters is the senior lead for District 7 for Iowa Primary Care Association, and Jane Larkin is with Health and Human Services. They'll explain more about their role here in a couple minutes, but we just wanted to go over today with you a little bit of information about Iowa Primary Care Association and the work that we've started doing since July 1st. And so what we're going to cover is we're going to introduce Iowa Primary Care's role in behavioral health, understanding the need for system navigation, examples of system navigation in action, how to access system navigation. I want to talk to you a little bit about the District Advisory Council coming up tomorrow for District 6, and then if you have any questions. So, July 1st, 2025, Iowa Primary Care took over as the Behavioral Health Administrative Service Organization for the state of Iowa, managing behavioral health services for mental health and substance use disorder through their single entry. So what the goal with that is to have a more integrated, person-centered system of care delivery for our community statewide so that folks can access services where they choose to access services versus having some boundaries based on funding in the prior system. And Iowa Primary Care Association started in 1988. It started as a organization and association to support the community health centers statewide, so they currently support the 14 community health centers. Health centers have a commitment to expanding access to quality, affordable, and accessible health care to meet local needs. Iowa Primary Care, in their work supporting the community health centers, I see community health centers as being the safety net for medical services, oral, pharmacy, and behavioral health services in the medical side of things. So it made sense that Iowa Primary Care was already supporting a safety net system, that they would bid for the Behavioral Health Administrative Service Organization, and now they also support the safety net services for behavioral health. And so for us now, we are really looking at whole person based on the two components of what Iowa Primary Care focuses on. And we are broken up into 7 districts, but the districts all function the same, whether you're in District 1, District 7, or District 6. We're providing a uniform delivery service with uniform policies and uniform practices. And what this new system does is it supports consistent delivery of behavioral health services while it still looks at the needs of each district independently of this system as a whole. And then we also are able to share consistent information about the work that Iowa Primary Care is doing. So, you know, when I come out and do these presentations, when Nicole does presentations, you're hearing the same message here that you're going to hear anywhere else where we're presenting our information. And again, system alignment was just to ensure access to those comprehensive safety net services. We also are focusing very heavily on connecting and collaborating with local leaders. I've spent a lot of time, my goal is to get around to all of the Board of Supervisors in District 6, and I'm almost there. I have 4 more to go. And to me, it was very important to come visit with you in person. I think that, you know, those face-to-face relationships are very important, and I think that we all try and get out and do tabletops and presentations and attend coalition meetings where we're located within our district. And then finally, we want to provide information, help folks get referrals to services that they need, and most importantly, we want to help Iowans navigate the behavioral health system. That is significantly important because it is, and Nicole will talk about this, kind of a complex system to access. Another thing I wanted to focus on is contracting. As of August, we have executed 125 contracts. That has simplified administrative burden. In the regional system, there are about 350 contracts because each region would contract with the provider who might provide services in multiple regions. So there's just one contract with that provider, and it covers wherever they're working to provide services to the communities that they're working in. And those contracts, they cover 7 program areas, and then there's some unique services that are continuing to be funded for this first implementation year. There's the co-responder model where a behavioral health professional and a trained law enforcement officer go out to crisis calls that come through 911 to assist people who have that need in the community. We also hold contracts with Flow State and ITP for providing prescriber time and paying for medications for individuals in jail who need psychotropic medication prescriptions filled. And then we do a school-based behavioral health services, which is a teleservice that is available to any school district that would that's currently contracted that wants that service. So it gets that service into the school where the child is, and it helps the parents then not have to take those kids out of school to go to appointments. We have taken in, as a pass-through, some federal funds as well. We have the funding for substance use prevention, treatment, and recovery services. That's called the SEPTERS block grant. That is for addiction services. We also pass through the Tobacco Community Partners funding that supports tobacco initiatives throughout the district. And then the mental health block grant that goes to community mental health centers, those are pass-through funds for Iowa Primary Care. We also continue to focus and want to have a very robust set of crisis services. And then there is a special project, it's called Project for Assistance in Transition from Homelessness. That was a service that was already in place, and the decision was made to continue that. It was a fairly important service. And then we continue to support peer-operated organizations, and then there's another Systems of Care mental health block grant that comes through Iowa Primary Care. And now I'm going to turn it over to Nicole to introduce herself and chat about system navigation.
Well, so I am Nicole Waters. I am the lead, senior lead system navigator for District 7. So we're kind of obviously not in this district, but like she said, we're all doing the same thing. It's pretty uniform throughout the state of Iowa. As far as system navigation goes, I suppose I don't really need this. I did do system navigation for a short time before promoting to senior lead, but basically what we're trying to do is just to knock down those barriers for folks who are looking for mental health support, substance use, and really just kind of the whole person, so medical, dental, whatever these individuals may be needing. So folks are calling in, and our system navigators are taking these phone calls I prefer giving examples of calls. I think that's a little more, you guys can understand that a little bit more. We had an individual call one of our system navigators in the Davenport area. This individual had a lot of law enforcement involvement. I'm very familiar with the law enforcement liaison program. I actually started that program in Cedar Rapids. And I know you guys have Shelby out here, and she's amazing. So, we have areas who do not have that service. And our navigator was able to talk to this individual's mom, stayed on the phone with them, were able to call mental health services, get an appointment set for this individual. And the mom was a little bit older, wasn't quite sure how to navigate the system, what to do. We got this gentleman agreeable to also make these appointments, and so our navigator was able to be on the phone, to make the phone call with mom, set up these appointments, and just kind of help navigate the system, just to avoid more law enforcement involvement. There had been quite a few committals in the past. Things just kind of had fallen through, so this individual was able to just walk through what long-term care might look like, support for mom. So that's also calling NAMI, and just showing them different supports in the area for whatever it may be. We have a lot of folks who are calling for housing right now, so that is quite a challenge, I will not lie. But the beauty, I think, of our navigators is that we really reach out to organizations in the community, and we try to partner with folks. We know we can't do it alone, nor can they. So we are really trying to reach out to different mental health organizations, domestic abuse organizations, food pantries, so that when we have people calling, we are able to set folks up with the resources in their community. In the past, it has been very difficult for folks maybe in the rural counties to get support, to find help. And so this allows anyone to call our services. It doesn't cost. It doesn't matter if you don't have insurance. They are able to call our navigators, and we are able to assist and kind of support and navigate. That's what we do. The different organizations and areas that we can find for them to get services. And again, the beauty of us making these phone calls for individuals is we are really getting our name out there. Different organizations are starting to know who we are, and so we just have that reputation. We have that ability. It's very, very frustrating having a child with mental illness. You try to find open doors, and when you have to continue to make those calls and to figure out who to call, we are that gateway for individuals who just are not quite sure who to call, what to do, and if anything, just to support, to be able to call our navigators and sit and talk to them, and again, just kind of guide them through what needs to happen and where they can go for support. We say there's no wrong door. So people will call us for all kinds of things. We've had people call us for brokers in different countries. And rather than saying we don't do that, as wild as the request may be, we always try to talk to individuals and point them into the right direction. And so that's kind of just our goal with whatever it is that they need, that we're pointing them in the right direction to kind of give them a light at the end of the tunnel for whatever resource or whatever it is that they're needing.
Did you get our contact in if they call around here?
Unity Stevens would be the contact, and her information is in here. Do you want to go over what we do, what we don't do, and the numbers?
Absolutely, I can do
That
that.
would be great, because I know I would definitely share that. 'Cause
Yes.
Right now, we're kind of in limbo, like the committals, who's getting the invoices, who's signing
Yeah.
up, all that fun stuff.
Those kind of questions, I'll leave my business card and Jane will talk a little bit too. She has a role in who to contact on HHS side of things.
Mm-hmm.
But you know.
No, absolutely.
And you can call, I mean,
Okay.
our boss said when we started, our goal when they get a system navigation call is to say yes. Even if we can't, don't handle that, we're gonna get them to the place that handles that. So I think everybody leads with that when they answer that
Yes.
phone.
Absolutely.
It's like last week, for example, I had a local attorney, he got the invoices and it says provide to the auditor. I'm kind of the middle person because I don't know who's committed and not, so I kind of want somebody else to say, yeah, go ahead.
So all this information, as far as you navigating, and you get calls, do you get calls from law enforcement to say, we have someone we want to send your way, or how does everybody get to know to call you?
Yeah, so I will share those phone numbers with you. So we are doing a lot of outreach. We don't necessarily go, we do everything over the phone, so we don't send people out into the community. So that is the difference between like a liaison and what we do. But we absolutely have had law enforcement call us before and say, I have so-and-so, we see them 3 times a week, they don't have a provider, do you have any suggestions? Maybe they're not as, they may not know their area as well, as far as maybe the community mental health centers that they might have. So what we're trying to do is provide even law enforcement with options, even letting law enforcement know, hey, if you run into someone who needs a resource and they're able to communicate for themselves, give them our phone number so I can set them up. Well, they can call a navigator and they can speak to someone and they can help with resources. So it's not necessarily law enforcement calling and we send someone out. It's more of law enforcement being able to give an individual a resource so that they can call us. So what navigators do, what they don't do. So we are not going to provide treatment, we don't prescribe, this isn't counseling or crisis intervention. So what we would do, if they are in crisis, we would probably do like a warm handoff with 988, and they are the crisis center that are answering these calls and also transferring them to us, so we are working close together. So if we do have someone who is in crisis, we may be calling mobile crisis. We may call law enforcement if the person is agreeable. But if they are in crisis in that moment, that's not necessarily the navigator's role. We want them to kind of hand that off to someone else. But again, we're providing the education, information, the guidance that the individual may be looking for. We do help with application assistance, so we get very creative because we are not in person. So we do a lot of that over the phone. So if they have a Medicaid application, food, what's the word? Yes, food assistance. I had an individual that we kind of just got on the same website and we went through the questions. Sometimes just helping them understand what question it is that's being asked, how to answer it. They're not quite sure how to navigate those applications, so we find ways of helping them with that. We have helped folks who don't necessarily have internet, where we're going through the questions and sending that in for them, email. Just trying to be very, think outside the box minded. We've had navigators print off information for folks and mail it to them. So we just try to figure out ways that we can help when it comes to applications. Again, we're always trying to identify options to overcome barriers. That's the whole point of us is prior, we had the barriers of, well, you're in this district, so we can't provide funding for this, or you don't have insurance. So we're really trying to make sure everyone has that support. And again, we're just providing the referrals and the warm handoffs. So that just may be where we're calling a doctor's office with someone and explaining to whoever may answer the phone, this is who I have, this is the need, we're supporting so-and-so, I have them right here. So that we're not just giving a phone number, we're actually making that call with them and making sure that they get set up with the help that they need. So a lot of times when folks are in crisis, just giving them the number isn't enough. It's kind of holding their hand in a sense and saying, I'm gonna help you get this set up. So a big part of what we're doing. I do have flyers and handouts, but basically, if you guys were to hand out our information for someone to get a hold of a system navigator, I do have the number here. It's calling Your Life Iowa. They can call 855-581-8111. We do have other numbers for providers, and it's just a provider line that you have a provider, you have someone in your office. These folks usually have maybe 15 to 20 minutes to sit with a patient. We've had providers call while they have people in their office, just to kind of get them set up with services, or if anything, with a navigator, and they can set up a phone call for down the road. There is the texting option for Your Life Iowa and the chatting option as well. Did you want me to do more here?
I think you're covering that.
I think okay.
We have on that.
Okay. So there are a couple of just,
If you want us to do the full information.
okay. Oh, wow, this is great information. I haven't seen this one yet. So the statewide referrals to system navigation, I know we've gotten quite up there, but, so the total calls, July 1st to November 14th is, the navigation contacts, 7,853. Actual client calls, 2,329. Referrals to services, 5,524. So you guys can see on the bottom here, the top 3 topics that we're usually getting is the mental health referrals, housing, and substance use disorder. Those are the big topics when our navigators are getting called. However, like we said, there's a wide variety of things that people are calling for, but these are definitely the top 3 things that we're seeing when our navigators are getting calls.
That's great.
You guys find that a lot of people just gave up because they didn't know who to call? So they called someone thinking they were gonna get something, and that's not who they needed? So you guys are providing that service. So that's, I mean, you believe these numbers are gonna continue to rise and rise and rise as people know about this service?
Oh, absolutely, and you're absolutely right, where people, when you are in crisis, and if you get one no, or if you get one wrong door, or somebody says something, we don't do that here, or, sorry, the wait list is 6 months, then they just kind of stop. If you're having a heart attack, you go to the doctor, or you go to the ER, and they get you in right away. If you're going and you're having a mental health crisis, it doesn't work that way. And so that's exactly what we're trying to do is, how can we be that, sometimes we might know someone else in the community, who to text, who to call and say, hey, I have this individual, they called so-and-so, the wait list is 6 months, they're really struggling, what can we do to help them and get them in? So it may be that as well. Sometimes it's about who you know, and our navigators, again, they're definitely making a name for themselves and building that rapport with organizations in our community. And, again, it's sometimes just holding someone's hand and being there with them to help make those calls where they follow through, and they do make those calls.
It's a lot of calls in the pipeline.
Yeah, they're starting to double.
Yeah.
Each month, yeah, which is awesome to see. And the navigator, you guys did a big push. You want to talk about all the school districts you contacted and?
Yeah, so we, with our navigators, not only are they answering phones, we have folks that we've kind of broken up into groups. And so we did a huge push and a lot of calls to the school districts. jails, law enforcement, hospitals, all the navigators. It's amazing to see all the experience that we all bring to the table. For me, I'm pretty passionate about jails. I'm passionate about jail diversion and mental health for individuals who have been incarcerated. I was a probation officer for a little while. And so for me, I'm going around and talking to law enforcement. I'm talking to the jails and letting them know what options there are so that when you do have folks out in the community talking to probation officers, we're doing a lot of partnership with probation just to help provide options for folks when, you know, they might be in the halfway house for a short time and leave, and that support that's always there is gone. And so we're providing support for individuals who are back out in the community and might need some support. So letting them know they can call 988, letting them know they can call us if they need resources. So yeah, we've really tried to focus on a lot of different, like I said, schools, hospitals, jails, different organizations, so that we can really get our name out there. And we started in the summer, so when school started, we did see a definite increase in getting calls from schools about individuals and families who are in need of support.
Okay, so so I've been in this world for 24 years, and when I first started, we had a really good partnership with Health and Human Services, and then as things changed and evolved, we saw like HHS and their leadership in Des Moines kind of focus on region CEOs and not so much the community. Well, with this new system, we are partnering with HHS, and that is what Jane is here to talk about, and the partnership and why you're seeing her with us today.
So Jane Larkin, I'm a community health consultant with the Behavioral Health Division of Health and Human Services. And although my office is in the Des Moines area, I am from District 6, so I grew up here, born here, was raised here, and I have a passion for ensuring that we are taking care of the folks who live here in the community. I also have the privilege to work with the district and also Iowa Primary Care Association to make sure that we are providing the resources that are needed to address any behavioral health issues. We are walking this path together. I don't have a formal presentation, so I'm not in your PowerPoint, but we are really here to show that we're supporting one another. You've already heard there's no wrong door. There is no wrong door. So if you would contact the state, there's an email address out there that a lot of folks will be contacting the state, and I'm one of the 3 people who are behind that email address to get services, to get that connection, that subject matter expert to be able to provide that assistance. And I'm also the connection then for the district leads and for the advisory councils as well too. So it's really my pleasure to be able to work alongside with these 2 ladies right here, but also to work alongside the district and to work alongside the citizens to make sure that we're providing the resources that we can to the best of our abilities. So we're in this together, we're walking this path together in ensuring that there's no wrong door. We meet consistently. So Sarah's been keeping me super busy going around and visiting with boards of soup. So thank you for having me here today.
I appreciate this.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes, last
yeah.
week on questions, so.
Anything HHS related, so that was our concern. We're Iowa Primary Care, and we know some of what HHS is doing, but we're much more comfortable for HH questions to be answered by Health and Human Services and their staff, so.
And I won't be the subject matter experts for a lot of those, but I can connect folks to those subject matter experts to get answers.
And Jane will have cards for you too.
Yep.
So the last thing I wanted to focus on is the district advisory councils, and you have a map that shows where the district advisory council members are from within our district. And what the responsibility is per Iowa Code of a District Advisory Council is to identify opportunities to address challenges regarding this implementation we started on July 1st. And it's also to advise the Iowa Primary Care Association as they do their administrative service organization work, as we develop our behavioral health policies and how we look at access to behavioral health care, prevention, education, early intervention, treatment, recovery support, and crisis services related to mental health and addictive disorders. So in code, there are specific rules that we have to have on our district advisory council. We have to have 3 elected public officials. We have to have 3 people with lived experience, one of those lived experience with a child, and then 3 behavioral health experts or providers in the system, and then 1 law enforcement representative. So your governing board members for District 6, Jack Seward out of Washington County is a board of supervisor, which I'm sure you guys are very aware, is an elected public official. Sheriff McNamee out of Henry County is an elected public official. Jared Schneider, sheriff in Washington County, is the law enforcement representative. Jacqueline Smith Duggan from Abbey is the vice chair, and she represents the provider seat. And John Levy, he's with Great River Health Systems down in southeast Iowa. He represents the provider array. Denise Skipple, she is the individual with lived experience, I believe with a child. Brianna Kraber represents lived experience. Sheriff Gary Anderson out of Apponeuse County represents elected officials. Jennifer Olson, who is our chair, represents lived experience. She's also the Veterans Director for Iowa County. And then we have Christina Shark, who rounds out our provider array, and she's with Southern Iowa Mental Health Center out of the Ottumwa area. Our next District Advisory Council is tomorrow for District 6. You have the link in the PowerPoint to go to the Iowa Primary Care Association, and you can go to the District Advisory Council webpage. On that page, you'll see a link to attend the council meeting in person or via Zoom. They're also in person at the Washington Public Library. So if folks want to go in person, they can do that. That meeting is from 11:30 a.m. till 1:15 p.m. It's a little bit longer. Usually they're an hour, but we're focusing on some information from Health and Human Services, and then we're starting the district assessment work, and that's going to take a little bit of time to explain that. So what I always like to finish with, and I 100% believe this, we are all stronger together in the work that we do and trying to navigate the behavioral health system. So I love having a collaboration with my coworkers, with boards of supervisors, with community coalitions, with HHS, so that we can really get this system fine-tuned so we have a lot more success stories than we've seen over the years. So with that, do you guys have any questions? There's also some resource information, but if you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer those, or just, again, thank you for your time.
Are you okay with me sharing your PowerPoint?
Yes, it's a PDF, so you're very welcome to share it. Great.
Pass it on to.
And then I'll leave business cards, Jane will leave business cards. Just reach out to us, any questions. If we don't know the answer, like Jane said, we're going to get you the answer from the senior.
I'm not shy, I'll
Yeah.
send emails.
Good. And we will answer them. So thank you again for your time.
Thank you. You guys are gonna take the pressure off of a lot of people.
We hope so. That's our goal.
I think once everybody knows the process, it'll start smoothing out again.
Yeah, and that's why, we're coming around in person, getting all those coalition meetings, and people will need to do that. And clearly the work that they're doing with outreach
Yes.
is shown.
Our district positions are all filled.
They're all filled, yes. And then here's just the business card size with the phone number, if you come across somebody who's on a business card versus the big one pagers.
Yeah.
Okay. That'd be a good contact too. The numbers are all
Thank you.
there as well.
Who's the representative?
Sure, we're doing it.
Okay.
So the representative, okay, that would be,
How's your role?
it's wonderful, Jackie.
Does everybody knew you?
Abby Center provides services in that.
Okay, who got that?
I miss them very much.
You're messed over there.
Thank you.
I think if you
I still keep in touch.
visited with individual mayors and town councils as well.
They're my favorite band
stuff
too.
that if they have a resource, they have to dial 911, they have.
Think about your age in school.
That's a great idea. We're working through, we want to get through
Right.
everybody, but you guys tend to be the pulse of county, so we kind of hit you first. And our goal is to get out there and make sure that we get as many people.
She always
Well,
does.
that's not the local
She's
community.
still one of the best.
Great.
So,
Yes.
they know what's going on.
Let us know
Here, I'll leave you
more.
some extra cards.
Okay, great, well, thank you.
Thank you.
An extra copy of that and stuff so I can share it with the sheriff.
So now, do they
Thank you.
replace you?
Mom is kept 6 months, start getting person last.
That's encouraging.
Yeah.
That's what Shelby told me.
Yep, I do.
Sense.
They still have Sam. Sam is amazing.
Oh, you're good to stay there.
Oh, that's good.
You know, I,
When she
Better watch a movie.
Nope, nope.
Nice try.
I saw the Grinch pop up, I was like, oh.
They came over and I'm still sheriff and they said, you don't know if It was so helpful. Sheriff John, I told him, why he's not sheriff? Up in Delaware.
Thank you.
oh, yeah,
Have a great day, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That didn't happen.
yes, the net's still there.
And I think they found stuff good.
Yes, yeah. And actually, for a while, it was in Dubuque, but then she went over to county, and she's in the jail,
Okay.
so,
I think I heard that.
yep. There we go. Oh, man, yeah, I've been city commission, it's still forever. I
That's
loved it.
We brought Shelby in on that. We've got her office.
Oh, we don't want TV.
You don't wanna watch the Grinch?
And absolutely nothing.
I wonder if you leave it, if it goes away.
That part, I know, because I don't, shouldn't have to set up anything.
Maybe don't touch the remote for a couple seconds.
Yeah.
See if it can-
Okay.
Huh?
Not much of
Here.
a time.
Otherwise, we can still, I think it'll still go through it.
Let's say,
It
we
should.
remove that.
Never, when I heard that,
Maybe.
so.
And I like what, I
I don't think people watch TV in here.
We don't think they do.
Maybe we don't think they do. We just ruined something for someone.
Yeah.
There you go. I just thought it'd be nice to.
Big deal, and that was kind of a big reason too for just going off and leaving it to the DOC for a while. Sorry, guys, I'm sorry, I could talk about this all day.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Good morning, Christine Ball, Director of Workplace Learning Connection. Nice to see you all again. You're all familiar faces by now when I come every year. So today, going to present on the deliverables that we've had from the last year and where we're at this year with Workplace Learning Connection. You've probably, I know some of you might have even been at the county leadership meeting that happened recently with Kirkwood. So as you know, we're the regional intermediary that serves all the schools with workplace learning experiences for 6th through 12th grade to be a single point of contact for both the business side and the school side to ensure that more kids have more access when we can efficiently provide these services. And now with work-based learning being more and more elevated, if you've heard from the state with state reporting for the schools and emphasis from the governor that we've been around for a long time doing this, and so we're nicely positioned to continue. And as I mentioned, we serve as that single point of contact between the schools and the businesses here in Benton County. That person is Laura Miner, who serves as a school liaison, business liaison, and internship coordinator for all of the schools in the county. And what we provide for schools is at the middle school level, as I've mentioned before, we really try and do broad exposure so kids can figure out what they're interested in themselves without it being what's dictated based on what their parents do, what they might see on TV, really explore a lot of careers, but also see them here locally in the county. So we do speakers in 6th grade at the schools. Then we have all students go to a STEAM Institute where students engage in 30-minute hands-on sessions from businesses. Students in Benton County come to the Lynn County Regional Center, but we have Benton County businesses that come to the Lynn County Regional Center for those presentations as well. And then in 8th grade, they do a financial literacy fair where they connect careers to the salary of that career and how that pans out with expenses. Now, as you all know, expenses have gone up a lot in the last 5 years, so we've really had to adjust that. I don't think you can rent anywhere for $450 or $500 anymore. So it's actually interesting to see how much money students do or do not have left at the end of the month. And some of them want to be surgeons and they think they're going to have $10,000 in savings every month, but others want to be teachers. And you see that money goes pretty fast. But at the high school level, this is really where that coordination of a single entity serving as that intermediary between the two is really helpful. And we've learned the last couple of years that we're really the only model in the country that is doing this, not only on a county level, but like a 7-county level coordination. We've met with groups across the country, and I think I've maybe met like 2 that are doing it even at the county level. So we have a lot of programs that are looking at replicating what we're doing. So we continue to do school-specific programs. You may have heard at the beginning of November, we had a college and career fair that was out at the Benton-Schellsburg High School, where we had both colleges and businesses come and kind of build that connection between training and career. We also do mock interviews. If any of you are interested, we're still looking for mock interviewers on December 11th. That's going to be at Benton High School. So that's one of the programs that they choose to do. If you've talked to a high school student, most of them don't talk to adults that they don't know. So that skill of even sitting down for a 15-20 minute interview with somebody that you don't know and it's one-on-one, a lot of businesses are saying that students really need those soft skills. So beyond even just the career, it's learning how do we look somebody in the eye, how do we not just look at our phone when we're uncomfortable. So we're doing that at Benton, and we'll continue those also in the spring. But then students can do 3 job shadows per year per student and 3 internships per year per student. Job shadows, for example, we have some coming up. Tice Automotive is really great about hosting job shadows, and you might have heard of their Pistons to Pathway program that they have, and that's launching another core group of students in February. So job shadows are great ways for students to explore those types of things. So then if they were interested in that particular program, for example, they've had a little dabble, and the business knows that they kind of know what they're getting into before they commit to like a 12-week program. We also have internships. These are concurrent credit opportunities, so students can earn college and high school credit for this. An exciting one that we have coming up that I think we're in our 2nd or 3rd year now is Belle Plaine. We're doing their J-term internships. So those will be students do an intensive 2-week, well, I guess it's like 7 actual school days, 7 or 8 school days, right when they come back from winter break and they're fully immersed in a business rather than going to school for that time. But we have internships that are happening throughout the year. And then also large-scale events. Construction Apprenticeship Fair, we had students from Benton Community that went to that back in November. In April, we'll have Build My Future, where we bring all types of companies and organizations that support the trades, union and non-union. STEM It Up is a virtual series, and then Career Discovery Tours that we had in October. We also had many schools in Benton County that took advantage of that. So we're continuing every year. We've continued to grow. Last year we had over 4,500 job shadows, and we're already in November. We're already sitting at 3,800 this year, and you can see we've already beat what our goal was for internships. A big piece of that is creative things like what we're doing with Belle Plaine with their J-term. We're also trying to do internships within the school district for students that have transportation barriers and can't get to an internship site. We all know that school districts have human resources. They have accounting, they have bus barns where they could do automotive. So we're trying to also build teachers. We need more teachers in our schools. So we're trying to build in more internships also within the school district. And so we think that we're going to be nicely on track for continued growth this year in our participation. And this is Benton County students specifically. That's at Frontier. We had a chemistry and microbiology day. This here is a student that did an internship at a local bakery, and then this student is at Virginia Gay Hospital. And what the businesses are saying, the first one is from Jody Trott at USA Communications. I truly enjoyed the opportunity to engage with students and witness their growth firsthand. Working with the students allowed me to contribute to their learning journey, and I found it incredibly rewarding to support their curiosity, creativity, and critical thinking. Building connections and fostering a positive, collaborative environment helps students feel comfortable expressing themselves and taking on new challenges, which was a highlight of my time with them. And Erica Chavala from Vinton Shellsburg High School, she's a building facilitator. She said, by exposing our students to a wide range of career and educational opportunities, we empower them to explore their passions and make informed decisions about their futures. Our career, post-secondary, job shadow fair is a vital step in preparing our students for success beyond high school. We are grateful for the support of WLC and our community partners who make this event possible. And then Kylie Pfizer, who's a student also at Vinton Shellsburg that did an internship at New Beginnings Salon and Spa, said, I learned so much from my internship, including how to talk to people and how to cut hair. My internship has been an amazing experience. If any student has room in their schedule for an internship, I would definitely recommend it. It has been the best part of my high school experience. And I don't think I shared this necessarily in years past, but I did want to point out the businesses that we had participate this last year. Many of them have been long-term partners for many, many years. So anywhere from school district, parks and recreation, banks, ClickStop also hosts a lot of students for job shadows. Ideal Industries been a great partner. P&K Midwest was a new partner with us for the career fair this year, and the students were super interested in careers there, so we're exploring more job shadows and internships with them. We have the electric utility. I think we had on here the sheriff's department, city municipal police departments, hospital. So a wide range of careers that students can see right here in Benton County. And what's changed? The school district, or the state did now require that schools, as part of their state report card, have to report concurrent enrollment and work-based learning as their post-secondary readiness, rather than just graduation rates and ACT scores. We all know ACT scores can be highly variable if students even have an interest in going to college, what those scores are going to show. So our service is directly aligned to that reporting, and we've seen that this has made our school districts transition to this new reporting requirement much easier than districts outside of our region. Even the largest community college in the state, DMAC, only has like one person doing similar work to what we're doing. So this helps make it more equitable for all of our schools. And because of that, we were recognized as the top 10 work-based learning ecosystem in the country. I think there were like 2,500 applicants to be recognized as a top ecosystem, and we were recognized as the top 10. They didn't select a top 1 or 2. And as I said, out of that, we were the only ones I've seen that have been a multi-county, and so a lot of groups are looking at what we're doing. And in Benton County, because we've had strong partnerships with the districts, we've had some operationally shared contracts with the districts that help us to reduce the number of schools that one person has to support. We've seen growth in Benton County because we have that contract with Benton and Vinton Shellsburg, that we had a 25% increase in event participation, 37% increase in job shadows, and a 14% increase in internships. And we were able to do that J-term experience, which also helps to increase the number of students participating. And overwhelmingly, the students are saying that's a positive experience. They're more likely to live and work in Iowa. They're more aware of local career opportunities. We even see it's great when we have students from Lynn County that are coming into Benton County and seeing what experiences are here in a rural county. For our students that do internships, 50% were offered in additional employment by the business. And our students take concurrent enrollment at a much, much higher rate than the general population. So the general student, 9th through 12th grade, 25% will take concurrent enrollment versus students that do a job shadow and internship. Well, the internship is 100% because they get concurrent now, but job shadows is 62%. And why we think that's really important is students that do concurrent enrollment are more likely to then go into a post-secondary training program, whether it's a diploma, a certificate, a 4-year degree, 2-year degree, and then they're more likely to persist, finish within 3 years for a 2-year degree or 5 years for a 4-year degree, and have less debt. So like all of those factors of like one little spark of a single day job shadow. And similar to years past, we're still basing our ask for each of the counties on the 2020 census. So for Benton County, that'd be $2,575.50. Questions about our programs?
I know Casey just sent us something again too on Kirkwood for that successful, but I don't know, it's always good interacting with them.
Yeah, and Benton County, did you attend the Benton County leadership meeting that they did with the community college? And the focus was ag for that one, and they talked some about the bond issues and the finance piece of it.
I love the budget talk on
Yeah.
the blanket
Yeah.
over the different other counties too.
Yeah, yeah, Casey does a good job explaining that piece. And I think Kirkwood's trying to be especially intentional about the rural counties being involved just as much. We're not doing those meetings in Johnson and Lynn County. It's really making sure that the rural counties feel connected as well to the programming. And what you have going on here with Tice Automotive, I think that that's a great model of various ways that people can get into training, and so for students to be able to do that at no cost in high school is a great opportunity too. And right here in their county and not have to drive far for it.
Do you think that the debt that college graduates are incurring is driving these numbers up because they don't want to, they see that and
Yeah.
they don't want to deal with it?
Yeah, we had a career fair in Washington, Iowa a month ago, and I was amazed how many 16-year-olds said, I want to be able to take care of myself and I don't want to have a lot of debt. And I don't know if that's because they've seen their parents currently in debt or talking about student loans. You know, when I went to college, it was like, yeah, just take out a student loan for everything and it'll pay off. So I think students are actually more aware of it. The state does evaluate students now doing the FAFSA, so thinking about like how much college is actually going to cost. But it's amazing how many students, they're not all saying that they want to go to a 4-year school. And a big part of that is because the debt side of it, and do you really need that 4-year degree for everything? Or maybe go work in an employer who then can help you go back if you want to get a 4-year degree.
I know I was at an EasyCog meeting here a month ago. We had the director from Cedar Rapids Airport there, and how they're partnering with you guys for the aviation part of mechanics. And I was really impressed with that.
Yep, we do an aviation maintenance job shadow day, and then we have an internship, and then they have the Kirkwood training program. So it's also nice for students to see that clear path, because we don't want them to do a job shadow and then it's like, okay, that's great, but what next? So after every job shadow, they have some guidance that we send to them about, here's something you could still do in high school related to the Kirkwood concurrent enrollment classes. And if you don't like it, you didn't pay for it, that's a great way to try it out when you still have all that support. But we also don't want kids looking at a bunch of careers that have no potential path for them later. It is very informative for some students to see that not every job is as glamorous as it might look on TV, too. You know, like a lot of them think, for example, lawyers, that it's just going to be trial, and then they're like, we want this to be more hands-on. It's like, well, law has a lot of reading and writing. It's not like the most exciting, but if you like debating and finding little loopholes, arguing with your parents, that might be the job for you. Also, but like vet is another one that the businesses talk to them intentionally about the cost of ownership of your own clinic versus if you were going to be a vet tech and kind of like the business side of it. So sometimes students will say like, well, it wasn't as hands-on. It's like, well, not everybody's job. I mean, I think of all of our jobs on a day-to-day, would it be super exciting for students to watch, but it's also good for them to know, because TV doesn't show everything.
No. I'm hoping that, given the opportunity to try multiple things, your junior and senior, versus graduating, getting a job and saying, well, this is gonna get me by, and try to find something different. Well, if they don't know of anything else, they're gonna be stuck in that position because they'll never break free from it.
And we've had some, like P&K Midwest, for example, we had a student that did an internship there, and they then offered to sponsor them to go on to the training program later. So it's like now they already had this network of, I tested you out, I enjoyed working here, even if I go off and do a training program, I think it might have been at Hawkeye, that I can then come back and I know that, like, we've tested each other out. You know my work ethic, you've supported me to go to school. So I think that's another great thing for students and businesses to connect to each other so that they have something to come back to, even if they would go away for school or move away for a couple of years.
And honestly, the junior and senior year is probably a little too late
To
to
make
do
these
that. They
decisions.
should be making those decisions even back in the upper early elementary, not decisions necessarily, but having those experiences.
See what it is.
So it does help in the middle school that they go to those events.
Yeah. especially so that they don't just kind of pigeonhole themselves into something that they think they know.
Or they just have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have no idea when you're 17, it's,
Yeah.
you know, you need to have some ideas.
Yeah. Any other questions? Well, we appreciate the consistent support, again, I think from that ecosystem network that we've been involved in. A lot of programs, they're like, how do you sustain for so long? We've been around since 1998, and part of it is shared little pieces so that it's not one entity having the whole chunk of it. For example, Kirkwood funds about 55% of it, but then there's the county boards of supervisors, district fees, we seek grants. So it helps when some of those funding sources change, like the AEA, for example. We used to get funding from the AEA, that went away. Like, we're able to kind of absorb it and adapt in other areas. And so it's also helpful that there's consistent funding across each of the counties as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. This has been an informative meeting.
That's a lot of information.
Yeah, I like it.
There was somebody right before here that's really
I forward you guys that.
Oh,
I
did
forwarded
they?
it
Oh,
to
you
them.
did? Okay.
Yep, and Shelby.
Okay, and there was handouts and stuff, and so also some handouts you guys can
Thank you.
Once they,
They had some phone numbers for people up there. That's a 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. That was a little bit on. Yeah.
Are they from the district? Bruce.
So we still have no idea who's.
yeah,
I know, it's crazy how much time flies, it's like.
We're in 6 now.
It's every December.
yeah.
So anyway,
No.
You gotta go up.
Yeah.
Signs have changed.
Yeah, Haley sent us
Thank you.
last email too.
We got to go up there.
If you go to Haley's office,
Yeah, that's what I had to do.
All these books are.
all these, you gotta sign them in a book.
Oh, and the
Official-
book too?
The official book.
It's getting thick.
Ah,
Yeah, I'll have you come in just whenever you want to stop in,
okay.
because I hate to bring it in and out.
Yes, I get it.
But that way, if we ever get an official open records request, we usually take it right out of there, because then it's assigned to book and paid.
Okay. I'm writing a note.
We still are, until. But yeah, though, I sent you guys both the PowerPoint, it was pretty, especially for the court committal stuff. You guys didn't have anything else that you wanted to add to budget work or anything before we go and close?
No, I don't.
Okay, you'll see in the next few weeks too, a lot of the different ones I'm scheduling to come in already.
You got anything in here, you do, right?
Everything that was presented to you today is in there, and the other budget so far that I've gotten.
Okay, so then I don't need to reprint anything when you send it to me.
Nope, if you leave your binders here, I'll just print as we go and poke holes in and bring them
Okay,
as we, I'll email you them also, but I'll print them for you.
okay.
That's good. Yeah, appreciate that.
I'll charge you for your budget.
Yeah.
According to ISAC, our insurance is gonna go down just a smidge.
Yep, because we got that 4% discount. But Ryan with Assured Partners, who put together all that information, you know, 'cause we're still partially self-funded, to see what we want to use for our buy down,
Okay.
you know, and what our, he looks at our
That'll
fund
be
balance and
January, you'll come?
hopefully I have to send him our fund balances as of December 5th, and then he'll start putting that portfolio together for you.
Did he come in January last year?
I had him come earlier, because I know in the years past, we waited till like after we approved the budget, so it's kind of nice to know what we're actually gonna put in for health insurance.
Okay.
All right, so we got closed session coming up. Now, before we go, because I know, for purposes, when we get out, are we gonna be done with the meeting after this? Did we cover everything else?
I think
I
so,
guess that
because
was a
I
big
have a
picture.
funeral I'd like to go to at 11 if I could.
Yeah, because I know I gotta go pick up my girl
Yeah.
at 11:30, so.
Yeah.
All right?
Sure.
All right, so let's go ahead, clear the room, the people who can't be in here, so I apologize.
Motion to go into closed session.
I'll make the motion to go into closed session.
Are we going to not finish up then after 2, like questions or anything like that? So, and come out of it? That's what I want to know, because you had me sit out in the hall last time.
Yeah,
and
no.
This that pretty much sucked.
Yeah,
You know?
no, that's why I asked if we were
Yeah.
gonna be
You got
done
some
right
questions,
afterwards.
Zach?
Yeah, and then you didn't come, you got done and you sat in here and laughing to eat, and I was sitting out in the hall.
Yeah,
So, I just felt that that's kind of disrespectful. So
no,
I just felt that.
that's why I brought that up,
You
so.
got some questions today?
No, I just wanted that known though.
Okay,
I just,
all right. So you motion it, you're gonna have to read. Should be on your.
You guys want to go front?
All right, closed session for Iowa Code 21.51C to discuss strategy, counsel, and matters that are presently in litigation or where litigation is imminent, where its disclosure could be likely to prejudice or disadvantage the position of the governmental body in that litigation.
Second.
Call for a vote.